Hello, dear students. Let's start the exercise objective question answers. Now, this is the chapter number 3, study of acids, bases, and salts. Now, question number 1. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. A number question. Which of them occurs in solid state? Now here there are 4 options, and in these 4 options one acid is occurs in the solid state. So you know that formic acid, hydrochloric acid, acetic acid, these all 3 acids occurs in the liquid state. Only citric acid occurs in the solid state in the nature. So the right answer is citric acid. You also memorize the list of the acids which occurring in solid state and also in liquid state, some in the liquid state. So oxalic acid occurring in solid state, tartaric acid in solid state, citric acid, phosphoric acid, H3PO4, these all acids are occurring in the solid state. So dear students, you memorize the list of these acids, and here the acids occurring in the liquid state, formic acids, acetic acids, hydrochloric acids, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, these all acids occurring in the liquid state. So here list gives the acids which occurring in the solid state and which occurring in the liquid state. Now the next questions, question number B. Benzoic acids is used for in as. So the benzoic acid is generally used as the food preservative. So the right answer is food preservative. Second number answers. Second number option is the correct answer. You also memorize the uses of the acids. So here the list given, here the list of the acids, and here their uses, the respective uses. So nitric acid. So nitric acid is used for the explosive and cleaning purpose. Phosphoric acid used for the fertilizer. Now the benzoic is used for the food preservative and also making of perfume and medicines. Acetic acid is used for vinegars and cooking. Tartaric acid is used for baking powder. Carbonic acid is used for making the soda water and cold drinks water. Now oxalic acid is used in the ink stain remover. Citric acid is used for the vitamin C preparations, food preservatives, these all. Now the boric acid is used for the eye wash and also in the antiseptics. Hydrochloric acid is used for the cleaning of the metals. So these are the uses of the acids, respective acids. So dear students, this table you should to memorize. Now the next question. Which color with the universal indicator indicates highly alkaline solutions? So as you know that universal indicator is a mixture of indicators. When universal indicator added in a particular unknown solutions, then they provides a particular colors, and according to that color we comprise that color with the given standard colors, and we judge what is the pH value of that solutions. So universal indicators gives a particular colors, and according to that colors we compare the standard color and match the standard colors, and we judge the given solution is have a particular acid or base. So universal indicator which indicates highly alkaline solution generally gives the violet colors. So violet colors it appears when universal indicator added in the highly alkaline solutions. Now here the list of the colors and list of the colors and their pH value. So violet is for the highly alkaline solutions. So if possible then you memorize these tables for further convenience. Now the next questions, which one is the acidic salt? Now choice here is KNO3, sodium acetate, calcium chloride, ammonium acetate. Now KNO3 is not a acidic salt, it is a neutral salt. Sodium acetate is a basic salt. Calcium chloride, now calcium chloride is a acidic salt. How? I explain. And next options 4 number, ammonium acetate. Ammonium acetate is also a neutral salt. How the calcium chloride is a acidic salt? When calcium chloride CaCl2, when CaCl2 dissolve in the water, then CaCl2 furnished the CaOH twice and HCl. Let's in the aqueous solutions, the calcium chloride provides the more H plus ions, so it is a acidic solution. Then second way, now the calcium chloride is prepared from the calcium hydroxide and HCl. Now calcium hydroxide is a weak base, and hydrogen chloride, hydrochloric acid, it is a strong acid, so they form the salt calcium chloride CaCl2. These salts have the nature of the acidic nature because they furnished from the they made from the strong acid. So calcium chloride is a acidic salt because they formed from the strong acid HCl. So the right option is the third number option. Now the next question, an acid's solution has a pH of, so as you know that the acidic solution has a pH of less than 7. Less than 7 have the acidic solutions. The value of the pH is less than 7, that is the acidic solution. The value of 7, then if the value of pH is 7, then it is a neutral solutions, and greater than 7, the pH value is greater than 7, that is the basic solutions. So here the option is option second number is the right answer. Now next question, which of the following is a tribasic acids? Tribasics, that means the acids which release the 3H plus or 3 hydronium ion when dissolving in the aqueous solution or in dissolving in the water or during the ionization, if gives or release the 3H plus ion H3O plus, then that acid is called the tribasic acids. So this is the H3PO4, it is a dibasic acid. H3PO2 is also a dibasic acid. H3PO4, it is a tribasic acid. So they furnish the 3 hydrogen ion during ionization in the water. H2SO4, it is also a dibasic acid. So the right answer is third number option is the right answer. Now the next question. Fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. Question number A. The word acids come from Latin word acidus. Meaning, what is the meaning of the acidus? So as you know that the acid terms come from the Latin word acidus, and acidus is a Latin word. What is the meaning of the acidus? Acidus meaning sour. S-O-U-R, sour. So generally acids have the sour taste. As for the citric acid present in the lemon have the sour taste. So the right option is the answer here is the sour, that is sour taste. Now B number questions. Vinegar is the source of acetic acids. Acetic acid. Vinegar is the source of acetic acid. So the answer here is acetic acid. Now the next question, C number. Magnesia is used in making. Magnesia is used in making generally the refractory bricks. Magnesia is used in making refractory bricks. So the answer here is refractory bricks. Now the next question. pH scale was introduced by Dash in 1909. So Sorensen introduced the pH scale for determination of the nature of acidic or basic nature of a particular solutions, and also they gives the comparative nature of the acid and base. That means the which one acid is strongest and which one acid is weak or moderate, and same for the base. So Sorensen introduced the pH scale in 1909. Sorensen. So answer here is Sorensen. Now the next question is E number. Dash is the phenomena by which hydrated salts on exposure to dry air lost their water of crystallization and crumble to powders. So as you know that when a hydrated salt exposed to dry air, that salt lost the water of crystallizations and form the crumble of powders, and that properties is called, that phenomena is called the effervescence. That phenomena is called the effervescence. So here the answer is effervescence. Now the next question. Give one example in each case. So here are many cases, and in each case we give the one examples. A number. Basic oxide which is soluble in water. Which basic oxide that is soluble in the water? So calcium oxide is a basic oxide. So generally metal oxides is the basic oxides, and metal oxide, that is calcium oxide is soluble in water, and those base which is soluble in water is called the alkali. It is called the alkali. So here the answer is calcium oxide. Now B number questions. The hydroxide which is highly soluble in water. Which hydroxide? Generally they indicates that which basic hydroxide, that is which is highly soluble in water. So generally the sodium hydroxide, NaOH, this sodium hydroxide is highly soluble in the water. So NaOH is a hydroxide which is highly soluble in the water. So the answer here is NaOH. Now the next question, a basic oxide which is insoluble in water, just opposite the question of the A number. Now here's in the C number, the one basic oxide which is insoluble in the water. So you know that copper oxide, iron oxides, these all oxides are the base and which is not soluble in the water. So answer here is the copper oxide which is not soluble in the water and they have the basic in nature. Now the next question, D number, a hydroxide which is insoluble in water. So this question also indicates that which one basic hydroxide which is insoluble in water. So generally you know that copper hydroxide is a base and it is not soluble in the water. Ferric hydroxide, Fe2, FeOH thrice, this hydroxide is a basic hydroxide and which is not soluble in the water, so insoluble in the water. So here the answer is the copper hydroxide, cupric hydroxide, you can also say that cupric hydroxide which is not soluble in the water, or generally you can say that insoluble in the water. Now the next question, E number, a weak mineral acids. So as you know that generally the mineral acids are the strong acids such as H2SO4, HCl, HNO3, these all acids are the strong acid, but one exception, mineral acids, which is not a strong acid but it is a weak acid, and that acid is H2CO3. H2CO3 carbonic acid, that carbonic acid is a weak mineral acid. It is a mineral acid but they have the weak nature, so we can frankly use this acid for the purpose of eating, drinking. Now here the answer is carbonic acid, H2CO3. Now the next question, F number, a base which is not an alkali. Now a base which is not an alkali, so as you know that the base which dissolve in the water is called the alkali, but all bases are not dissolved in the water, so all bases are not alkali, but some bases which insoluble in the water. So here they ask, here the question, in this question, a base which is not an alkali. So there are many bases, suppose as for example copper hydroxide, CuOH2, ferric hydroxide, FeOH3, these all bases are not soluble in the water, so these all bases which is not an acid. So answer here is ferric hydroxide, FeOH thrice, this bases which is not dissolved in the water, so they do not behave as a alkali but it behave as a base. Now next question, G number, an oxide which is a base. So generally copper oxide is a base, calcium oxide is also a base, iron oxide is also a base, so generally metal oxides behave as a base. So copper oxides, here is the answer. Next question, question number H, a hydrogen containing compound which is not an acid. Generally acids having the hydrogens and they furnish their hydrogen when dissolve water, and so the acidic property, but one exceptions, a hydrogen containing compound which is not an acid. So a hydrogen containing compound such as ammonia, NH3, it is a hydrogen containing compound, but this ammonia do not behave as an acid, it is a base. So here the answer is NH3. NH3 is a base, not a acid, but NH3 containing the hydrogen. Next questions. Question here is define efflorescence. Define efflorescence. So as you know that when a hydrated salt exposed on the atmosphere, then that hydrated salt lost their water of crystallization partially or completely. That phenomena is called efflorescence. So what is the efflorescence? Efflorescence is a phenomena by which hydrated salt when exposed to dry air lost their water of crystallization and crumbled to powder. So that phenomena is called the efflorescence, losing of water to dry air when exposed into the atmosphere of a hydrated salt. That phenomena is called the efflorescence. And the substance which show the efflorescence is called the efflorescent salt, efflorescent compound. As for example, MgSO4.7H2O, CuSO4.7H2O. These all are the efflorescent salts. When exposed to the atmosphere or in dry air, they lost their water of crystallization. That is the water of crystallization. So efflorescent salt such as copper sulfate .5H2O. Then copper sulfate .5H2O, the 5 molecule of the H2O present in the copper sulfate in the form of a crystal. When copper sulfate .5H2O, this is hydrated salt, when exposed to the dry air, they lost their water molecule, 5 molecule of the water, and that phenomena is called the efflorescence. Now the next question. Define hygroscopy. What is the hygroscopy? So when a hydrated salt or when a salt exposed to the atmosphere, then that salt or that compounds, not a salt but the compounds, when exposed to the atmosphere, that compounds absorb the moisture from the atmosphere. And after absorption, they do not become wetted or then do not dissolve in it. So that phenomena for the absorption of the water by the salt from the atmosphere or moisture from the atmosphere, that phenomena is called the hygroscopy. So the definition here is, this is the phenomenon by which substance absorb moisture from air but do not dissolve in the absorbed moisture. Just they absorb but they do not dissolve and then do not make a solution, do not make a saturated solutions. That phenomena is called the hygroscopy. Now here the substance which show the hygroscopy called the hygroscopic substance or hygroscopic compounds. So here the example is sulfuric acid, phosphorus pentaoxide. So sulfuric acid H2SO4, it is a good hygroscopic substance. They absorb the moistures. Phosphorus pentaoxide, it is also a good hygroscopic substance. They absorb the moisture from the air, but they do not dissolve in the absorbed moisture. Now the next question is define water of crystallization. Now as you know that the hydrated salt copper sulfate .5H2O and also the magnesium sulfate .7H2O. In this salt, the H2O molecules present in the form of a crystal, and that water molecules present in the form of a crystal is called the water of crystallization. When you touch the copper sulfate powder or crystals, then your hand do not wet it, because water present in the copper sulfate 5H2O in the form of a crystal, they never wetted your hands. So the water of crystallizations, now the definition here is the fixed amount of water that is present in a crystal of an integral part of their constitutions is called the water of crystallization, and the compound having water of crystallization is called the hydrated salt. That salt is called the hydrated salt. So the fixed amount of water which present in a crystal of an integral part of their constitution is called the water of crystallization. As for example, zinc sulfate .7H2O, white vitriol, it is also called white vitriol. Magnesium sulfate .7H2O, Epsom salt. So these all salts have the water in the form of a crystal and fixed amount of water present in this crystal. So this water molecule which present in the salt as a form of the crystal is called the water of crystallization. Now the next question, define an acid. What is an acid? So acid is a chemical substance which, when the acid dissolve in the water, they furnish the H3O plus ion, hydronium ions in the water. That compound is called the acids. So acids, it is a compound, when it dissolve in the water, they furnish the H3O plus ions and also the negative ions. But the formation of H3O plus ion in the aqueous solution of a compound, that compound is called the acids. Now here definition is, an acid is a compound which when dissolved in water produces hydronium ion, H3O plus ion, the only positive charge ion and a negative charge ion also. That compound is called the acids. As for example, HCl is a acid, CH3COH acetic acid, H2SO4 hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, H2SO4 sulfuric acid, HNO3 is also a acid, H2CO3 is also acids. How these acids? Now H2SO4 sulfuric acid, when dissolved in the water, they furnish the H3O plus ions and the negative ions, sulfate ions. So they release the H3O plus ions, they produce the H3O plus ion. The production of H3O plus ion by this compound, so this compound is called the acids. This compound is called the acid. Now the next question, give the name and formula of 2. Now here instruction given, give the name and also the formula of 2 that compounds. So a strong monobasic acids. So we recall the knowledge and write here that 2 strong monobasic acids. So as you know that the monobasic acids, the acid which have the 1H plus ions, they release the 1H plus ion, the aqueous solution is called the monobasic acid, and a strong monobasic acids. So HCl is a monobasic acid and HCl is a strong acid, because HCl furnishes only 1H plus ion in the aqueous solution. Now HNO3 nitric acid. Nitric acids, this nitric acid has only one H in their compounds, so they release only one H plus ion in the aqueous solutions. So this is HNO3 is also a monobasic acid and it is a strong acid. So here answer is HCl, hydrogen chloride and nitric acid HNO3. These two acids are the strong monobasic acids. Now the next question. Weak dibasic acids. So weak dibasic acids, carbonic acids and oxalic acid. These all are the weak acids. Carbonic acid is a mineral acid, but exceptionally this acid is a weak acid. Oxalic acid is a organic acid, so all organic acids are the weak acids. Now here the two hydrogen present in the carbonic acids, so they release the two hydrogens. One molecule of carbonic acid release the two hydrogen in their aqueous solution. Oxalic acids also, one molecule of the oxalic acid release the two hydrogen H3O plus ion in the water when dissolved. Now the next question. Non-volatile acids. Generally the acids which is non-volatiles. Non-volatile acids are the sulfuric acids and hydrogen chlorides, hydrochloric acids. So H2SO4 and HCl, these two acids are the non-volatile acids. Now next questions. Volatile acids. So answer here is carbonic acids and acetic acids. These two acids are volatile acids. When exposed on the atmosphere, they vaporize. So these carbonic acid and acetic acids are the volatile acids. Now the next question. Define a base. What is the base? So base is a compound. When base reacts with acids, they produce only salt and water. The production of salt and water is called, that compound is called the base. So base, what is the base? Base, a chemical compound which when react with hydronium ion, H plus ions, that H plus ion furnished by the acids to form salt and water only. As for example, cupric oxide, magnesium hydroxide, calcium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate. So generally the metal oxide, metal hydroxide, metal carbonate, metal bicarbonate, all oxides, hydroxide, metal carbonate, bicarbonates are behave as a base. Now here sodium hydroxide when react with acids, then HCl furnishes the H plus ions. The sodium hydroxide react with the HCl to form the NaCl and water. NaCl is a salt. Now here what happens? NaCl break down into their respective salt Na plus and OH minus. HCl also break down into their respective ions H plus and Cl minus. So NaOH combined with the Cl plus and minus combined, they form the NaCl, and OH minus and H plus combine to each other to form the H2. So NaOH when combined with the acids to form the salt and H2O. So NaOH is a type of base. Now the next question. Explain all alkali are bases, but all bases are not alkali. So as you know that the base which dissolve in the water, that particular base are called alkali. So not all bases dissolve in the water, but only some base which dissolve in the water. So the some bases are called the alkali. So all alkali are base, but all bases are not alkali. So here explanation is, an alkali is a base which is soluble in water, but all bases are not soluble in the water. As for example, NaOH is a base, is dissolved in the water, so NaOH is called the alkali. But the copper hydroxide CuOH3, CuOH2, cupric hydroxides, it is not dissolved in the water, but it is a base because it is a metal hydroxide. It is a base, but it does not dissolve in the water, so it is not an alkali. Here better way. For examples, ferric hydroxides FeOH3 and cupric hydroxides, these all are the bases. Ferric hydroxide and cupric hydroxide are bases, but these bases, ferric hydroxide and cupric hydroxide, do not dissolve in the water, so it is not a alkali. It is not a alkali. But the sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide, COH twice calcium hydroxides, these all, sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide, these two dissolve in the water, and these two are also a base. So finally we concluded that it is said that all alkali are bases, but all bases are not alkali. I think, is it clear? And the next question, define the pH. What is the pH? So pH equal to negative logarithm of hydrogen ion or hydronium ion concentration. Now this is the symbol of concentration, and this is the hydrogen ion log. So pH equal to negative logarithm of the hydronium ion concentration. So pH generally explain how much amount of the hydrogen ion or hydronium ion present in a solution. So definition here is, pH, the pH of a solution is defined as the negative logarithm of the hydronium ion concentration present in the solutions. So pH equal to minus log H3O plus, minus log H3O plus. The negative logarithm of the hydrogen ion or hydronium ion concentration is called the pH. Now in the pH scale, if the pH less than 7, now in the pH scale, if the pH less than 7, then that solution is acidic, and if the pH is 7, then that solution is neutral, and pH is greater than 7, that solution is the basic. Now when we move from 7 to 1 in the pH scale, 7 to 1 the left side, then the acidic character increases. When you move from 7 to 12 in the pH scale, that means in the right side, then the value of our basic character increases. So basic character increases. Now the next question, state 3 application of pH. State 3 application of the pH. So here the 3 application of the pH. Number 1 applications, pH, it is used to determine the acidic or basic nature of the solutions. If the pH value is less than 7, then that is acidic. If the pH value is greater than 7, that is basic nature. If pH value is 7, that is neutral. So the pH scale determines the acidic solutions, acidic nature of the solution, basic nature of the solution, and neutral nature of the solutions. Now the next application of the pH is, it is used to determine hydronium ion concentration present in the solutions. If the pH value is 2, then the hydronium ion concentration after calculation we get 10 to the power H3O plus concentration equal to 10 to the power minus 2. If the pH equal to 3, then the hydrogen ion or hydronium ion H3O plus concentration equal to 10 to the power minus 3. So the pH value is used to determine the hydronium ion concentration or hydrogen ion concentration is present in the solution. We can easily calculate it. Here the pH value is 3, so you can use the 10 to the power minus 3. pH value is 4, then you can use 10 to the power minus 4. If pH value is 6, 10 to the power minus 6. So we can easily calculate the value of the hydronium ion concentration if you know about the value of pH. Now the third applications, it is used to find out neutrality of the solutions. Find out the neutrality of the solution. When acid and base react and they produce a salt, and the value of the salt is, the pH value of the salt is 7. That means the acid and base neutralize to each other. So these are the applications of the pH scales. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Thanks.